What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video, and today we're going to be covering some awesome data download stuff on Japan, including a brand new Sugo Fest exclusive character. It just feels like almost every second video I upload, it's like, oh, new Legends coming out on Japan or global, but it's crazy, right? There's a lot of stuff going on in Japan. Obviously, currently, they're in the event of the villains versus Luffy. All of the villains that had come across in the One Piece series that Luffy had taken on. That's basically what this entire month is dedicated to. Now, currently, they're having their data download for their treasure map characters. This includes a brand new legend that's going to be debuting on the treasure map Sugo Fest, and you can only pull this character on treasure map Sugo Fest. Though I do feel it is kind of weird that them introducing another treasure map legend, considering last month with the Halloween stuff, there was also another treasure map legend with Koala. So this is interesting. This would also probably mean that Legend Crocodile is going to debut in January for Global. So I believe Koala and Crocodile both should debut in January for Global. That's actually crazy. That's going to be a pretty good treasure map Sugo Fest. I really can't wait for that one. That's going to be really, really good. But there are some other characters that are coming along with it. We have, first of all, shout out to Koala-san for these translations. Appreciate that a lot. Let's go ahead and check out some of this stuff here. We've got the artwork for, this is the free-to-play character that everyone will be farming for, Treasure Map Moria, okay? Treasure Map Moria. He's going to go ahead and boost the attack of Driven and Powerhouse by 3.5 with a 1.5 health boost. Driven and Powerhouse characters also treat quick slots as beneficial. Driven and Powerhouse, man. One Piece villain, slap that Driven and Powerhouse on him, man. It's crazy. Special ability, let's actually see what the max stats are for this character. 13 cooldown, that's actually pretty good. Okay, and it's going to reduce 1 turn of barrier, large quick damage to all enemies, damage dealing support, smoker support, I'm looking at you, reduce 5 turns of resilience and defense up, and for 1 turn boost the orbs of Driven and Powerhouse characters by 2 times, perfect for running smoker for an attack boost and an orb boost from 1 unit. When the captain is Driven or Powerhouse, boost attack against enemies that are inflicted with poison, strong poison, or toxic. What? Why? What is this? What? Where did that come from? That's just so weird. Why does he have a poison conditional boost? I don't get it. Maybe someone out there in the comment section can let me know. Why does he have a poison conditional boost? That doesn't really make a lot of sense to me, but hey, I mean, it's a free poison conditional boost, I suppose. If you can apply some kind of poison to the enemy, I guess that's kind of cool. He can't be blown away. That's cool for Worst Generation Garb Challenge. Driven and Powerhouse stat boost. Strength damage reduction, critical hit, enrage, nothing special. Terrible support, of course, as all other treasure map units are. PvP special. Large range, level 4 attack down. 50% chance for paralysis. Level 4 attack. Okay, this unit's not very good. Okay. Actually, what's his CT in PvP? 27, absolutely not. That is garbage. Okay, PvP is terrible. He just seems okay. I don't know. Like, it's not a god tier treasure map unit. It's just like whatever. Totally just a whatever type of unit. Yeah, no one really cares about that. What you guys are here for, though, is this. Here we have the brand new V2 Crocodile. And one thing that you can see straight off the bat, look at his icon. Can you see something there? He's got a blue tab here. That means something. He has a little icon here. That means something. Crocodile is indeed what everyone kind of suspected he was going to be. He is a super class unit for Cerebral, which is what everyone really wanted him to be. There were some people that wanted him to be like a versus unit. There were some people that wanted him to be a super type unit. But I think a majority of people had the consensus of, yeah, he should be a super class unit considering the type of characters that they're releasing this month. It would make sense. And a lot of people thought, you know, you had Dofi that was strength, you had Katakuri that was quick. Why not release a Dex Crocodile? Cerebral superclass unit, and that's exactly what he is. He's a Dex character with superclass. Cerebral Driven are his classes, though. And another thing we can see here, 13 turn cooldown. Stats are pretty good. You can see he has Hunger, though. Hunger's a pretty weird one for Crocodile to have. I wouldn't have suspected Hunger. But one thing to note, though, is that Cerebral actually haven't released like a new legend in quite a while, actually. The last Cerebral legends to release were Vivi and Reiju, both of which are pretty good. I mean, Vivi is very good. Reiju's okay. But this unit, when you see what he does, yeah, he's probably one of the best Cerebral units that's ever come out in the game's history. He is redonky donk. Let's get into it, though. Captain ability, let's start things off. -1 cooldown at the start of the quest, already really good. Cerebral characters get 5 times attack. Non-cerebral units get 3.75 times attack, 1.3 health to the crew. On the first turn of each stage, when your health is 70% or more. So what this means is, when you enter a stage, if you have more than 70% health, cut each enemy's HP by 10%. Okay, pretty simple so far. Pretty simple. We can all understand. If you move into a stage, you have 70% or more, you get a health cut. That's cool. Furthermore, if your health is above 70% at the start of the turn when you attack, with type advantage, that character will receive a matching slot in the following turn. This is great. This is something that not a lot of Legends utilize. We saw it with Luffy. Zoro was like the first major character to do it. They don't give a matching slot, but if you attack with type advantage, you get a guaranteed Wano slot. That was absolutely broken. They brought it back with Legend Bonnie, where if you attack with type advantage, you get a recovery slot. Now they're bringing it back once again, but this is crazy because this captain effect is very strong. With this type of firepower and the fact that you're able to get a matching slot on any of your Cerebral units, unlike Bonnie, who was only an int boosting captain, meaning that in a majority of situations you really wanted to bring only int characters, but with Crocodile being a class-based captain, it makes it much better because you can run a variety of different colors. It doesn't really matter what you're bringing here. You can run a strength, dex, quick, sight unit, doesn't matter. As long as you attack with type advantage, you get a matching slot in the following turn. That's awesome, but it only works if your health is above 70% when you do your attack. So if you're at low HP, you don't get it. So that's the trade-off there. But it does say if you are below 50% when you start the turn, then you heal 2,000 health and 20% damage reduction. Now, I think the way that this is actually structured here, if you're below 50%, you heal 2,000 at the end of the turn, but then it does say after, with a comma, reduce 20% of incoming damage. I'm pretty sure that might be a passive thing all the time. You always get 20% damage reduction, but if you're below 50%, you heal 2,000 health. So there's lots of different components here. So we already understand all the multipliers and the health boost. That's whatever, right? But let's break it down. If you move into a stage with 70% HP or more, you get a 10% health cut. If you attack and you have 70% or more health with type advantage, you get a matching slot in the following turn. If you're below 50% at the start of that turn, at the end of that turn, you will heal 2,000 HP. And you get the damage reduction. Captain effect alone is very good, but you can see it's kind of finicky because, you know, there's certain health thresholds and it seems very annoying, but there's more to this character we'll talk about in just a moment. His special ability, which we established, 13 turn cooldown, his special is crazy. -1 cooldown to Cerebral characters. For 1 turn, boost the attack of Cerebral by 2.5, very good boost. When his HP is 50% or less, or his special counter is 1, we'll talk more about that in just a moment. Then for 3 turns, the chain is going to start at 3.0 with an upper limit of 40.0. So he gives a chain boundary for 3 turns that starts at 3x. Literally what? It's literally the best chain boundary unit we've ever had in the game. Kind of makes sense for the character because we had Raid Crocodile, the green one that had released previously, was kind of a Cerebral based unit and was also a chain boundary unit. So it kind of makes sense they're bringing a new version of Crocodile who's also chain boundary. I dig it. I think it's fantastic. It makes a lot of sense. This character is very, very strong. It then says if you are not below 50% or you don't have this special counter effect, it's still going to give you a 2-turn chain boundary of 2.5, maxing at 35. So it's still going to give you a regular chain boundary regardless, very similar to Wano lore. But if you are below 50% or you have this counter active, it's a 3-turn chain boundary starting at 3x. That's nuts. That is the best chain boundary in the game, and that's going to see a lot of play. It's ridiculously strong. And we'll talk more about this special counter in a moment as we get into his super class. Remember, super classes are kind of interesting because you can have a certain character fulfill the requirement, or you can do something during the quest to fulfill it as well. So you've got a lot of different characters here: Luffy, Vivi, and Robin, and then just a bunch of Baroque Works characters is fine. I think a majority of the time people are going to resort to, if you're below 50% or less, you can activate the super class, which is fine. I think that's really, really good. But then his superclass special is really interesting because it cuts the HP of all enemies by 10%. It changes empty block, bomb, recovery, and G slots into matching, so great orb manipulation. Your HP limit of your own captain will be ignored, and change own special counter to 1. So again, what this means is, when it says HP limit of your own captain will be ignored, this means that the additional effects of being above 70%, above 70%, below 50%, the way that this is worded leads to believe that all of these effects are going to activate all the time. Everything will activate so long as you've activated the superclass. If your Crocodile has that special buff active saying that, yeah, he's now a super Cerebral character, his captain effect is going to have all of these activate all the time. That's already really good. And then it also says own special counter set to 1, meaning that from here on out, every time you activate his special, you're going to get the 3-turn 3.0 chain limit. Dude, like, as long as you activate the superclass, you get all of the buffs of this unit. He is an incredibly strong unit, and if you continuously attack with type advantage, you're continuously getting your matching slots. Dude, I think this unit is absolutely incredible. This is what I want to see. Honestly, this is a much better unit compared to Doflamingo and Katakuri that had released previously. We already know how good Driven and Powerhouse are. They're definitely units that you don't really need. This is something that Cerebral kind of needed. Cerebral are already a pretty good class. They've got characters like Final Tap Lore, they've got the VV, they've got some pretty good units there. But having a brand new character come out, the flagship character of Cerebral when it officially released for the first time in the game as Crocodile, I love this unit. This unit is very, very strong. As for his Sailor effects, if you decide to use him as a crewmate, he's going to go ahead and resist 2 turns of special reverse, and Dex Orbs are beneficial to Cerebral. He has quick damage reduction, he has the Hunger, which is pretty typical, 3 turns of Hunger removed, and he also has Pinch Healing as well, which is pretty good. And his support effect as well, I forgot about his support effect, attaching to Robin or Mr. 1, so a little bit restrictive, but it says that once per adventure, if you're inflicted with Chain Coefficient Reduction or Chain Limit, so like a Chain Lock, reduce 3 turns of those debuffs, and for 1 turn, you get a 2.0 to 10 times chain boundary. So the limit of that chain is pretty bad, but the fact is you're removing chain debuffs and you're also getting just a free chain boundary effect for free. It's, again, another very nice effect of this unit. In PvP though, he's okay. I mean, he does a 5k fixed damage to one enemy and heals 2500 HP to himself. And then your Dex allies get level 5 attack, level 3 health, and every time he heals, he gives he gives himself level 2 attack up to 5 times. So I assumed that in his, yeah, actually I was going to say here, his pattern is normal attack, heal himself, strong attack, full power attack. Okay, so he's going to be healing himself not super often, but he himself is going to be really high attack, but this is something that I don't really like, because he's based around giving attack when he does fixed damage. If the attack was to all Dex units, it would be a little bit easier, it would make a lot more sense, and it also doesn't really make sense actually that he boosts Dex. Why is he not boosting Cerebral? I thought they were trying to push the class meta in PvP, but no. They, for some reason, are making him color-based again. Don't know if I'm a big fan of that. I feel like it would have been nice to have some more Cerebral support for sure. But all in all, I'm actually a big fan of this brand new Crocodile, and just having a look at his artworks real quick, this is his unevolved artwork. Like, holy crap, dude, they went absolutely off with his unevolved artwork, beating up Robin, and then we have obviously this one here where he versus Luffy. This unit's really cool. Alright, and we're going to briefly run through all these other rare recruits here. So we got Quick Lucci. So Lucci here, you can see he is a quick powerhouse Cerebral, 14 turn cooldown. He is a treasure map rare recruit character. His special, 50 times attack and typeless damage to all enemies, and it ignores all defensive effects and defense. That's pretty good. Reduces 5 turns of burn and 5 turns of attack down, and then boosts the orbs of your powerhouse and Cerebral characters by 2.25. It's a pretty good special. For a treasure map rare recruit, by the way, no limit to, you know, certain effects being active only on treasure map as well. Just an all-round great special ability. And then he has a very good support, only attaching to the CP9 characters. Once per adventure, if you're inflicted with burn or attack down, you reduce it by 2 turns. Like, great support, but, I mean, like, Kaku's actually getting a couple of good supports recently, but, like, in general, like, there aren't too many of these units you're going to use in regular content. Maybe Kaku. That's, like, the only one I can really think of that would probably see active play. And then the second treasure map rare recruit is this Eneru, who is a Dex Cerebral striker, and he also has a 14 turn cooldown, and his special ability reduces 3 turns of bind, 5 turns of threshold, well, it says percent damage reduction. I'm pretty sure it said threshold. I guess it's percent damage reduction. And also, oh, it's actually percent damage reduction and damage threshold. That's ridiculous. And for 1 turn, boost the color affinity of your Cerebral and Strikers by 2 times. It's a pretty nice special. Again, like, removing those 2 by 5 is great. 3 turns of bind is weird. Would have preferred it also to be 5, but, and just getting color affinity is kind of nice. And also, he reduces 1 turn of paralysis of Cerebral and Strikers. That's actually pretty good. That's a very good Sailor effect. And his support only attaching to Dex units that are also Cerebral, so a little bit restrictive, but it says once per adventure, if the supported character uses a special that does an attack boost reduce 1 turn of Bind, and for 1 turn boost the color affinity of Cerebral and Striker by 1.5. That's a redonky donk support. Like, that's one of the best supports we've seen in a long time, actually. Actually, Lucci's support also is one of the best we've seen in a while, which is kind of good, because recent batches on Japan have had really average supports, like only 1 turn utility. Not really that great, but having like a unit like this burn attack down by 2, and then this one to give a 1 turn bind, so like only 1 turn of utility there, but you get a free color affinity boost 1.5 when you use the special. That's really strong. That's a really, really good buff that this guy actually has. So Eneru looking pretty good. And then the last character to talk about here is this Wyper. Now this Wyper is nothing to do with treasure map. He is the free-to-play Pirate Rumble character. This is the free-to-play unit that everyone gets by playing Pirate Rumble. This unit is a Dex, Free Spirit, Cerebral, and nothing special with his effect. Reduce defense to 0, cut your HP by 99%, which is interesting. 50 times the amount reduced to 1 enemy, and boost attack against reduced defense. Okay, he's a self-proccing 2 times conditional booster. You can't take that away from him. That's actually usable. And then his stuff in PvP, because remember, these characters can be used in PvP. Dex allies level 5 guard rate, level 3 attack, nothing amazing. And what is his CT, actually? That would be interesting. 33, it better be good. 1.8 attack in a sideways range, level 6 crit up to Dex, and if you got 50% or less, 2,000 fixed damage to 1. Okay, no, he's terrible. He's terrible. Okay, disregard Wyper. He's not really that great, but what we really came to see here was Crocodile, and I think that they've done a fantastic job with this unit. This unit is very strong, and I'm very excited to see what some of the JP players out there who pull him are going to use him for. Like we saw with Koala last month, it was released. She was okay. She wasn't really that hype, but now we have super class and we have a character as good as this. It just gets me super excited for the future of super classes and what kind of units they're going to introduce. Very excited to see what they're going to do with. Now we have a Driven, we have a Powerhouse, and we have a Cerebral unit. So we still got Fighter, Shooter, Striker, Slasher, and Free Spirit to go for introducing super classes into the game. Very excited about this one. Let me know your thoughts and opinions about Crocodile down below in the comment section. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video today. And if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure you go ahead and hit the like button. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But other than that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.